So do you want to start off with your question today?
I'm looking forward to my question. I always look
And,
forward to the questions.
and then today's topic is what gets us through those dark times as a hypnotherapist or as I don't like to call us leaders in the field, but as trainers and
Yeah.
people that like to guide people. Okay. So the question today is it normal or not to eat someone else's food?
Completely normal. Do you mean to steal food off someone else's plate?
Hmm. Hmm.
100% normal.
No, no, don't steal my food.
Oh my God, okay, you know what I'm going to be doing in November? I'm going to steal your food.
I will stab you with my fork. John does
Everybody,
it all
everybody
the
coming to the
time.
conference in November, take note. You have to try and steal Trisha's food.
You
We'll make a goal of it. Who gets it? Who gets it before they get stabbed?
don't steal my damn chippies. Seriously, ask John about me and my chippies. I will just go into meltdown.
Oh, I always take. You should have seen the kids laugh the other day because Melody and Monique came in and it was dark and they'd been out at the horses. And Melody came in eating a cupcake with like pink icing and glitter on the top, this tiny little cupcake. And I looked at them and it was like the death stare because she can't have a cupcake without me having a cupcake because
I want a cupcake.
I was going to steal that cupcake. So she's running away from me thinking, you can't have a cupcake. Those are my favorite. I want that. So anyway, here I am getting like, I want that cupcake, playing, but also kids are saying I'm being crazy. And then one pulls out a cupcake for me and I instantly shut up. And she goes, okay, we
We need to
want
have a
to shut up now.
conversation.
We need to have bags of cupcakes. And I'm like, you'll teach me to be a bitch. You actually trained me to be naughty so I could get a cupcake. But yeah, I totally steal
Look,
food and
John's
even
whole
hide food.
family do the sharing thing. We never did that. Like, we're so opposite ends. We never did that at home. Like, John's whole family will go to like a Chinese restaurant and they'll all get something different and then all share it. When me, because I'm fussy eater, I'll just go, I only like fried rice, so I'm just gonna order my own fried rice. But then John will be like, can I have some of your fried rice? I'm like, well, if you wanted fried rice, why didn't you order fried rice?
Well, yeah, everybody in our family hides food. So mum and dad hide. Well, they don't now because I know where all the hiding places are. If any of the kids have food, it's hidden because they know that I will take their food. And so anything nice in this house, it's not going to be here for long. And they're like, when I go, if I go and see Monique in her bedroom and there's chocolates on the thing and she's in the toilet, she'll hear me. And I do it now just to annoy people. Because I tell you what, I'm going to take people's food if I like it. Yeah. I won't take it all. I'll just take one.
John actually has this rule that if you leave something at our house, like food, then that therefore it's ours. So if you say came over for a board game night and then you left a packet of chippies, then that was like that's it. It now belongs to him. Okay. Where me, I'd leave them in the cupboard until next time we had a games night, and then I'd bring them out. And if I eat them, I would then buy another bag and replace them.
Yeah, replace them. Yeah.
Where he's like, no, you left it here. Now it's mine.
I'm going to send out a memo to everybody, or I'm going to write it on a big sign: steal Trisha's food.
So you're gonna walk in
At
with a
the
big sign on your head
Australia
on a
Hypnosis
headband.
Conference. I was going to say
Steal
everyone
Trisha's
should come
food.
to the conference just to steal Trisha's food. What
Don't
about your
steal my
drink? I
chippies.
wouldn't. I wouldn't take somebody's drink. That's gross.
John and I will share a drink because, like, as much as I like soda, I can't drink like the whole can or the whole bottle. So I usually just have one or two mouthfuls and then John will have it. So that's fine. But like I wouldn't just go and steal like his iced coffee or anything like that. I would always ask, hey, can I have a mouthful? But that was it.
It would depend how close you are to the person. Eh? Like I'd have a sip
Yeah.
of Monique or
But
Melody's drink, but I'm not going to go up to some stranger.
no, no. But actually, here's a thought. I have thought that when I get older, I'm going to be one of those old nanas where just walk up to a random person like this old nana and go, "Oh, those chippies look yummy," and then just take one and walk
Okay.
off. And I know this sounds terrible, but I think it's going to be an absolute hoot. I want to go shopping in other people's shopping baskets when I'm old. So if I walk past someone and I'm really old and decrepit, I'll just go, "Oh, thanks, darling. I needed bread too," and then just take the bread out of their trolley and walk off and just see what they
To
do.
see what they do, whether they'll let you do it or not. You'd hope if you're old and
Elder
do that.
person, they would
Yeah.
probably go, "Just let her have it," you know. Where if they fight me for it, I'll be literally going with the bread. Ha! Who I fight?
Did you see that? Did you see that TikTok video with the old lady, well, oldish lady? She's probably not that old, but old enough to be a bit senile, where she decided she wanted the neighbor's cat.
No, you
And
have
so
to
she
send
went
it
up and
to
she
me.
knocked on the door and she's like, "Give me the cat." And he goes, "It's my cat, you can't have it." And she was like, "But the cat likes me better." And like she was going psycho and she was like, "I'm gonna beat you." And it was all over this cat that belonged to this guy. And it was just an older lady, and she just wanted the cat. She was
No, just let
lonely.
the cat decide. It'll come and go as it pleases.
But this guy was like sick of, because she'd take the cat and lock the cat in and not let it out. And it was his cat. So he locked it in the house, and yeah, it was quite funny. But I think the
Oh,
old lady might have actually had issues. But
yeah, yeah, by the sounds of it, by the sounds of it.
yeah,
All
but
right.
she was going to kill him.
All right. So, Justine, when those dark time hits, so whether we're sick or we've got family issues or there's people giving us, the shits or whatever, what do you do? Like what processes do you put into play to help you keep going?
Yeah. So my personal things. Um, one thing I always like to tell myself when I'm having a hard day or something is this is not going to matter on Monday. And I've got a really big thing about that. This is not even going to be a thought in my head. I actually came to a massive realization earlier on this year. Something quite serious was going on in the family, and it was taking a lot of mind space. And I would go for a walk in the morning just down to it's about a K to walk to the end of the driveway and back. And I would be doing it in the mornings. And one of my biggest things I would do to regulate the nervous system is to walk slowly and look at the color of the grass and stuff, just to let my body know that I'm safe, and listen to the wind and all of those cool things.
Be more grateful.
But I was walking one day and I was really, really, really this thing that was going on was huge, like huge stuff, right? And I remember walking a week later, and I was walking in the same spot, and this new thing was really, really huge that I was thinking. And I was thinking, I couldn't even hardly remember the week before what I was actually worried about, the other huge thing that I was worried about. I was already on to the next huge thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
there, it's like having that realization that no matter what's going on, I'm not even probably going to remember it next
Mm,
week, because there's going to be something else that's there that our mind wants to worry about.
hmm
So one of the biggest things I do is just remind myself that everything's kind of fluid.
mm,
You know what I mean? No matter how big it is, it seems that it doesn't take that long for that thing to be an afterthought and to
yeah.
be the next thing. And it happens just so quickly. And really staying in the moment. Hey, like I said, for me, when I walk, if I am in a really not good space and I walk and make sure that my senses are engaged, like hearing the wind, seeing the colors, going slowly,
hmm
um, it brings me out of anything that I'm worried about, anything at all.
hmm
It seems to be one of the only things that will actually snap
Yeah.
me out of not good thinking in the moment. If
hmm
I Even if I'm dissociated, like working or studying, the other thing's really pressing. The only thing that tends to get me out of that when I'm actually getting my senses out into the environment that I'm in. What about you, Trish?
Uh, well, mine stems from experience. It really does. So, as many of you know, I went bankrupt before I became a hypnotherapist and I was homeless. So, I lived under a bridge. And I reflect on that time. So, that was a time when I was going to take myself out of this earth. It was simple as that, blah, blah, blah. And when those stressful times hit, so I'm not much of a worrier. Like I don't tend to worry consistently about things that I can't control. I do get brain buzz where I'm so excited about something that I can't sleep and I sort it
Yeah.
all out in my head, you know. So I get brain buzz quite frequently, but when it comes to worrying, I don't tend to worry too much because I have been at the bottom of the barrel. And I get that everybody's bottom of the barrel is different, but to be homeless and to sleep in the cold for months and months on end, where you're starving, you're shivering, you smell, you're dirty, everything fucking itches because you just want some soap.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to you. They all just think it's your fault, and you're screaming for help. You're literally screaming, but you're getting blocked in every possible way. I've been to that place. I've done those things that most people wouldn't consider doing because I've had to make ends reach. I needed money or whatever. And I've done those things. And I reflect honestly, I think to myself, when those hard times hit, I instantly go back to those times, but in the light of this is as bad as it gets before you die. Like this is the one step away from death. And I've been to that place and sat in that place for a long period of time. And I've found out how dodgy so many people are because
Yeah.
they're just in that survival mode. And then when those darker times hit, I think, you know what? Let's go into logic rather than emotion here. So logically, if I couldn't afford my power bill, they're not going to cut it off as long as I'm giving them $5 a fortnight.
Yeah.
So logically, legally, I know I can do that. Same as the tax department, same as the gas, same as basically anything. So all I got to make sure that I do is pay the rent, pay the
Yeah.
mortgage. Just have that there. And if that's the absolute minimum that I need to achieve, then just rest with that.
Yeah.
Because once you lose the roof over your head, even if you don't have heating, it's still 100 times warmer than being out in the elements under a bridge.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Carpet, trust me, is 100 times softer than rubbled rocks. And when you're sleeping on grass or dirt or anything along those lines, like it's a different kind of cold. Like it gets into your bones and your body. And gosh, what I would have given just to sleep on lino, let alone carpet. So I reflect back to those times and I use it as a way of motivation, of progression. And
Yeah.
I always go into logic. I am lucky in the sense of I don't have like my mum, my dad, or any of my family anymore. So I am lucky in that sense because there's not a lot of people to worry about. So sure, I love John's brother, like, he's got Crohn's and all that sort of stuff, but I don't worry on the scale of if it was my own parent or, my own
Yeah.
sibling. So I am lucky in that sense. I also have, well, my grandmother told me that this is gypsy mentality. So I also have gypsy mentality where I can be friends with anyone and then disappear for 2 years and not speak to you and come back and pick it up as if it
Yeah.
was that day that I left. So I have that mentality. And if somebody gets jealous, like, oh, you haven't spoken to me and you're asking for this or something like that, if they go straight to that, my brain instantly goes, you know what? There's how many billion other people in the world. I don't have to stick up with your shit. And I just go, thanks for the beautiful memories. You've been a great friend. Let's go meet someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there is always somebody else that you're going to resonate with. So I don't tend, I love having that gypsy mentality. I know that there's a lot of people who don't have it or can't adapt to it. But I love it, you know, and, I figure if you're giving somebody a laugh or something like that, and then you never see them again, at least you left on good graces. And if they can't come back back to that place of good graces, and they're only coming back to that place of self, me, you didn't, in something you never spoke to me about, like some unagreed upon, unspoken contract, I'm not the person for you.
It's interesting. It's the kind of forward focus thing, eh? So
I'm very end game thinking.
you know
Like
what I mean? So
always
yeah,
forward, always forward.
always forward. And I think that's one thing you see with a lot of people that do work in our field is we might use the past as a propulsion to move forward,
Mm,
but we keep moving forward.
mm,
Whereas a lot of kind of traditional ways of healing or ways of working are always backwards focused. You need to go backwards to heal this part of your life to move forward, or you need to, and a lot of focus is always put back on heal this moment, or you've got to do this, and it's always quite focused backwards. But when you
mm,
when you see when you listen to us talking, or anyone that's in more of this mindset, understanding the brain stuff,
mm,
it tends to be anything that propels keeping
mm.
the mind on it's going to get better, or you know what I mean.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
rather than thinking when does this end, I'm definitely of the mindset of how far I can take something.
yeah,
So not as in the negative, like when is this negativity going to end? But when it comes to those learning blocks, because you can get into those dark times when you're doing learning stuff, whether it's technology, systems, whatever it is, and you get into this mindset of, I'm not smart enough for this, I'm too dumb, why am I not getting it? Somebody else is getting it. You hit these blocks. And I'm always of that mindset of not so much when does this end, of how far I can take this. And that was a motivation speak by somebody. I can't remember who it was. But I thought, you know what, that's so true, because a lot of people think, oh, well, once I set up my website, I can just leave it. It's like, no, you have to nurture it. You have to see how far you can take it and how far it'll grow. So even when you're in those darker times, it's enlightening to change that mindset, and also adding two words to the end of those dark thoughts. So, for example, you might say, I am sad. And then if you add two words, and those two words are for now. So if you add the words for now onto the dark ended sentences, it gives the mind space to go, it's okay. I'm allowed to do it for now. I have the right to do it for now. I'm just visiting, not setting up a house. So if you say, I am depressed for now,
it's
and,
really good.
and that makes it so much easier to deal with as such.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So just yesterday, I was very brutal, I must admit. I'd gone and played soccer, and after soccer, your heart piped, you've got the adrenaline flowing, you're flexible, you've got the limbs, and you've got everything out of your system. And then one of the other ladies, I didn't know her from a bar of soap, but one of the other ladies in our group was talking about how her partner has mental health issues. And she's like, I always seem to be attracted to the men with mental illness. And I turned to her and I said to her, I said, well, have you thought of just being attracted to ones with mental health? And she goes, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, you can still have depression or something, but they're working on mental health rather than them working on their mental illness.
Mm.
And her brain literally just went,
Yeah.
and you could see the cogs turning as she was processing. And then she just sort of looked at me and then just walked off. And I'm like,
You're quite nice, Trish, because what if you had said, what's the common denominator?
well, trust me, I've been in those places myself, you know.
but yeah.
But it's true. Like it adds the for now stuff. Like even when John's having a dark time, you just add for now, because it gives the permission to, it's okay, it's justified, it's relevant. If you're at a funeral and you're laughing your head off, that's not the right time and space when you should be going, you know what, I need to feel grief for now. because this is the right time and space, you know? So with this particular lady, she was like, oh, I'm always attracted to these men with mental illness. And I said to her, well, what if you attracted yourself to mental health?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter if they've got this mental illness, as long as they're working towards mental health, it's progress.
And the cool thing, Trish, is it's like, you know, people say I have, you know, depression and anxiety. Understanding that no matter who you are and what you know, we all experience
Oh,
mental health.
I,
We all
we
experience that.
all we
We all
all
experience
experience it.
moments
Yeah.
of
It's
this kind
just,
of shit.
and when you add the words for now to the end of that, it means that it's just for now.
Yeah.
So when we have depression or anxiety, etc., and we say, I have depression, that's solidifying us in this Pandora's box that will self-destruct, and it is our identity, it's everything about us. Where if we break it down to realistic reality, where I have depression for now, it's just in this time and moment, okay? Because when you go to sleep, you don't have depression when you're asleep. So there are times in your life where you don't have this depression. You know, like I can tell you right now, to break the state a little, I definitely don't have anxiety or depression when I'm taking a shit.
Unless it's not coming out.
No, that would be concentration. I have concentration.
Trying really hard.
No, so bring yourself to the for now. And I think those two words are just as powerful as I am.
Yeah.
I really do. So my advice for anybody who is going through a dark time, you know, I am getting divorced for now. Yep, you are. Because at one stage, you know, at some stage you're going to be divorced and you're going to move on. You know, I am hungry for now. I am sad for now. I'm happy for now. Can't be happy all the time. That's a psycho.
Yeah.
So break it down into the for nows, and then that will bring you to a better place. Does that make
Very
sense?
cool.
Be,
Yeah.
be worried for now. It's fine. You're allowed to worry. This person that you've got in front of you is not well or has cancer or something like that. That's okay. Be worried for now. But it gives the brain like the option to go, oh, it's just for now, and happier days are coming. We will
Yeah.
laugh again.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
would pass 100%.
I think another thing also in dark times is I get shit out of my head. So I write it down on paper. You know what I'm like. I've got like
Yeah.
all these bits of paper. And then literally once it's out of my head, I have a shredder. And I will literally, it's like a ritual for me. I will take that piece of paper and then I will shred it. And it's a way of just going, don't need that anymore. It's like taking somebody's old phone number out of your phone and then forgetting you even had their phone number until somebody reminded you. So getting stuff out of your head is
Yeah.
super duper helpful
Just
because
thinking, yeah, one thing with my brain is surrendering. So when I say surrender, I was having a chat with a friend before, Lynn Marie, and we were talking about computer stuff, and I was talking about how I know Trish, you know, but a couple of weeks ago, I went onto my mailer light and I had the Hypnosis New Zealand mailing list, uh,
not anymore.
and yeah, and I kind of it said, you know, the people that are not active. I clicked on there and I was just clicking through buttons because that's how I learned. And it was like, delete the inactive subscribers. And I was like, sweet ass. And I clicked delete and I went through all of the steps to delete and then suddenly I lost thousands of emails and I couldn't get it back. And I remember in that moment, there was a choice. And it was a definite choice because my whole body froze because I knew what I had done. And you know how long it takes to get genuine subscribers, people that, okay, I'm
You'd be
talking
lucky to get one or two a day.
thousands kind of went bye-bye into the ether, wherever the deleted things go. And I remember sitting there and my whole body just went, boom. And it was like, I can really get pissed off right now, or I can just own the fact that there's nothing I can do to charge my computer. I did it. And I remember smiling, thinking, maybe I should keep this one, but I'm just sharing it on all now. But there was literally nothing I could do. And I remember there was this, I was on a retreat doing medicine, some very, very harsh medicine. And the medicine was probably the harshest one you can go on. And there was a lot of intense stuff going on, and the brain was on fire and everything was on fire. And there was a moment that I was fighting it. And I was fighting it. I was fighting the what was happening. I was getting into the moment, and it was getting pretty freaky. And then there was that point where I thought, if I don't just surrender to this and accept this is happening, whatever happens now. Like I'm on the journey.
Yeah. You're in the whirlwind, you got to go.
And and then I just relaxed. I tell you what, and just the darkness and the yuck just went away, and my body learned to give up and stop fighting and just letting things be as they are. And I tell you what, it's one of the biggest lessons I think I've ever learned is that when as fighting to stop something from happening that's happening is not going to make anything better. If you're anxious about something, being more anxious and more, you just hurt yourself and you hurt people around you. So sometimes just going, well, and then you move forward so much quicker. Do you know what I mean?
There is an ancient saying in Australia, when things just go badly. Let me teach it to you now. Is that okay?
Yep, go for it.
So in Australia, things go badly. We can't control it. We're trying to process what it is. We just go like this. Get fucked.
Yeah.
And you got to do the head roll. Get fucked.
Fuck off.
Like, oh, get fucked. Oh, fuck off. That's the Aussie tradition way. It's part of our culture.
And I do a little dance. I know that sometimes if I'm a bit, some people have seen it. No, not that kind of dance. Some people are really pissing me off. And I'm like, I just really want to smash that person. Punch him in the throat. So great afterwards because I'd never do anything like that. No, because I never would. But I do it in my head, and then I'm like all over it, and then I'm back to. I was so annoyed with that person. I can't even remember. Good old
What is this dance? I want to see the dance.
Hey,
I want to see the dance.
It's just like I want to. Like in the movies. I know it makes you laugh, eh? So it's probably just changing state. But I like physically use my body when, like, if I'm annoyed with something, it's just like I remember once when I was really when I was quite a bit younger and I was doing this horse bridle. And like I spent 20 minutes trying to get this thing off. And then I ended up like having a very big conversation with the
Don't start with me.
But you know what I mean? But afterwards, you just laugh at yourself and it just shifts. People will think I'm just doing now, but that's okay.
Actually, I have something that you can do with your family members or anything. It takes 6 seconds to release the happiness and the relaxation when you're cuddling someone.
Hugging someone.
Yes. So I whisper to John when he's in the tizzy moments, I will hug him and just go 6 seconds.
1, 2. God, if someone did that to me, I'd be like, whoa. They'd be like, why?
Oh, you wait till AHC. If you steal a chippy, I'm going to hug you and just go 6 seconds. Yeah, leveling that up.
Yeah.
Don't steal my chippies. You'll get 6-second hugs. God, we'll spend the whole weekend just hugging each other and they'll be like, is there an orgy or something?
I was going to say, that's a different kind of conference. That's the other conference that Trisha's organizing.
That's the cold conference, the recruiting.
Yeah, that's the other one, eh, Trish?
So take some of those hints and tips. Like Justine said, go for small walks and be present. Notice all the stuff, and if it's going to matter by Monday, add the words for now. Get it out of your head. Just keep going. And eating someone else's food is bad. Don't eat Trisha's chippies. Don't
Everybody steal. What we should do is we should give Trish food that she likes so that we can steal it back. Hey, Trish.
Oh, mean to Chris, mean. No, you should just give Trisha food and just leave her be. Don't steal my chippies.